All right, welcome everyone to another Mountain Man Monday. This is live stream episode number 58. Today is January the 18th, 2021. I want to welcome all of you who joined me live this evening on the Mr. Mountain Man YouTube live stream here, or those that may be watching it later. As always, all the live streams are always archived under the live stream playlist on the Mr. Mountain Man YouTube channel. And today being January the 18th, it is an American history hero's birthday today. We celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday and his messages of diversity and inclusion, which I think are just as important here in modern day and celebrated here on this channel as well. So we celebrate that holiday. I hope you have all had a wonderful week. It's been 2 weeks since I have spoke with you all because I took a hiatus last week for the national championship, and which was in college football, and that stunk. And the day before that, the Steelers lost in their playoff game against the Brownies, and that stunk. So football's dead to me for now. I'm not talking I don't want to know anything about football until June, July, August. Well, actually, that's not completely true. I listened to this iHeartRadio channel called Steelers Nation Radio year round when I'm mowing the grass and working around the house and driving in the car. So I listened to some news and stuff like that in the background, but I was extremely disappointed. Not only did I skip out on the Mountain Man Monday, it really wasn't worth it because we didn't win. So yeah, that was a stinker as far as it comes with football. I see that some folks are rolling in here. We got Faye here. Hello. Hey, Faye, how are you doing? Welcome to the live stream. Hope you have a great week and a great start to this Monday here. We got AZ Rock. Hey there, Mr. Mountain Man. I hope you are doing well. I hope you are as well and having a great start to your week. We got Lily here. New picture. Looks great. Hey, Mr. Mountain Man. How are you? I am just great. How are you doing on this Monday at the beginning of the year? Let us know how things are going up your way. We've got Foxy Wolf, the diverse Mr. Mountain Man Monday live stream. As always, we got the flex muscle, we got the hammer. We got to get one for the audience there, and my cool hammer. I love it. It's a lot of fun. Thank you, and that is awesome. Let's see. We got everybody saying hello. We got Jennifer Rathbone. Hey, Mr. Mountain Man, everyone in the chat. Hello to you as well. We got Ted and Deborah Harrison. Happy Monday to you. Hope things are going well. Living like Larry. Good evening, everyone. And Larry sends the message, yes, bad football. Football stunk. I don't know if, I forget, Larry, I think you're a Cleveland fan maybe, so maybe you were happy when the Steelers lost, but then I had not anticipated them getting past Kansas City, but the Buckeyes lost. And so, yeah, football stinks. Football's done. And that's a shame because there were, I thought with the whole pandemic year and all the rotten apples that have been going on, maybe football was going to be like a nice bright spot. Both my teams, both college and professional, were doing really well. I'm like, hey, they might, maybe win a championship or a Super Bowl. Steelers start out 11-0. The Buckeyes get a national championship and just nothing, just fell flat. It's all done. Yeah, sorry my team lost. I appreciate that. But that's how it goes. I mean, it's kind of crazy, though, as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, we kind of expect a high bar and excellence in getting Super Bowls, and it's been a while. I remember the last one was in 2008 going into 2009, and then our playoff victories, I think we've only had one playoff victory in the last 10 years. That's crazy. That's starting to sound pretty messed up. So Larry doesn't like pro football, was rooting for Drew Brees. I have a story about Drew Brees. My wife, when I met her, we were far apart. She was going to Purdue at the time, and Drew Brees was playing for them. And I actually got to see Drew Brees play for the Purdue Boilermakers. That was pretty cool. So I've kind of always been a fan of his, although I don't root for any other teams besides the Steelers. So yeah, let's see. Let's see. Lily says as well here, very mild temps, a little snow in the forecast later this week, but can't complain. We're safe and have a Mountain Man Monday to keep us company. Well, that is fantastic. Yes, we are all here. Everybody's pulling up a stool, saying hello. And snow is great. I mean, I just revel in it this time of the year. I love the snow. I enjoy this change in season. I was went for a walk after work this evening, and it's cold outside, and I was thinking about it, that it's only a couple of months and we'll be getting into like the starting to get some of the spring temps and stuff. I mean, winter just on the calendar is less than a month old. I mean, December 21st. So we've still got 2 months to go, but in the calendar of winter. But you start getting in late March and stuff, and even here, it's not like it gets in the 70s, but you do start to get some of those milder temps. And so I like it right now. Yeah. Cool. I got to watch Ben against the Buckeyes many years ago. Yeah, Ben Roethlisberger played for Miami of Ohio. That he was. I remember watching him myself because my sister had gone to school at a MAC school up there, Bowling Green, and so they had played against Miami of Ohio. So I was familiar with him when he got drafted. I was pretty excited about it. And I thought, why isn't this kid playing for the Buckeyes, not Miami of Ohio? Yeah, if history shows anything in professional and college sports, sometimes the best recruits or the best draft picks, they're not the ones that excel in the NFL. I mean, Tom Brady was like a 6th-round draft pick. Now, Ben in that class from 01 between Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, and old sidearm that used to be Phillip Rivers. Those three, they all have had successful careers. Ted and Deborah Harrison said, Mr. Mountain Man, enjoyed your snowy mountain drive. Well, I appreciate that. That was a off-the-cuff video. I had not planned on going out and making a video. So for those of you who haven't seen it, I published a video the other day, I think yesterday or the day before. And it was just beautiful. We went north of Asheville, was anticipating snow because I had seen it on the radar. That was a really weird day because I was out running errands in Asheville, and if you'd seen on Instagram, and it was snowing hard. And then if you just drove like 10 minutes, all of a sudden it was bright and sunny and not a flake in the sky. And if you looked in the background, it was dark gray. And so almost like the summer when you have rain out in the distance, but this was with snow. And I've been watching the radar, and there was quite a bit of snow, but we just weren't getting much of it. So we decided to hop in the car. My wife wanted to see it. And I said, if we go north and go for a drive, and we have been kind of in the house a bunch, I said, let's just go. We'll just go, and we'll go until we hit it. And we did. And once I got there, I'm like, let me just throw together a quick little video here. And I was impressed, or pleased with it is the right word. So, that, I like that video. I thought it turned out nicely. I really was happy with that video. And it's a little keepsake of the winter time. That's one of my favorite parts about it, is beyond YouTube. It's something cool for me to keep. 50 right here now. That would be in Georgia. And I remember in Florida when I used to live down there, if I would look at the calendar and the highs would only get in the 60s and lows in the 40s, that to me was winter break. And I enjoyed it. And then there were some times where it would get into the 30s and 20s and you have to cover plants. But yeah. So Ben is actually right down the road in Findlay. That's right, Findlay, Ohio. I'm surprised, had he gone to one of the Ohio teams, he would have been a really big deal. It's funny, yeah, throwing snowballs at the kids, with the camera. Yeah, I just liked the whole way the video came out. It was just a lot of fun, and it captured the mountains really well. I mean, after all, Mr. Mountain Man, that's the channel. So snow in the mountains is kind of the, again, the epitome of this type of what I do on this channel. AZ Rock says, Foxy got up to 33 today. Yeah, well, I got the heat wave. I like the quick little videos sometimes. Yeah, and I have a few of them that I don't plan on doing, and then the ones I purposely plan out and do, those are just as fun too. A little bit more work. Hey, Kentucky girl, hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well up your way and enjoyed your comments on my videos. That was really cool. Rita's here. Hello, Rita. I hope you're having a great start to your week. A nice Monday. I'm glad you got to play in the snow. The views are pretty. Love that sunset. It's incredible. I mean, the video does pretty good justice, but not, I mean, it's like a painting where we were. I mean, there was the sunset, the mountains, the snow. It was pretty nice. Faye says she's enjoying it while she can down there in Florida, the little bit of a break. Yes. You get accustomed to the heat. And if you're used to 80s and 90s, 50s and 60s is a break, and it really is a break. It feels good. It's all what you're accustomed to. Lily says that was a fun video. Thank you, Lily. I appreciate it. Probably not the kind of snow you all get, but it was really pretty. And I hope to see some more. I keep checking the weather. 50s here today, says Rita. That's in Tennessee, right, Rita? And that is a little warmer than it is here. But yeah, I'm trying to think. We're going to be back up in the 50s here soon. That's a typical winter day. A lot of people forget that this is the South still. I mean, they don't forget, but like we're in the mountains and higher elevation and it feels like it's cold, but this is not Illinois, Minnesota, Ohio, New York, Pennsylvania, places like that. I mean, we're still, relative to the South, stone's throw away from some pretty hot and warm states. So the only thing that really gives us the real break is the big elevation. If you've ever been on I-26 coming from South Carolina to North Carolina, right at the border, right where you see the state line sign, welcome North Carolina, you immediately start going up. And if you have an altimeter on your app, or if it's on your map in your car, you'll be at about, I think it's like 8 or 9. No, it's lower than that. It's like 500 feet down there in South Carolina. And then all of a sudden you're basically up near Salute. It's the Saluda Pass. You go up that way and then you're near like Hendersonville and Henderson County. You're basically at 2,200 feet. So you go from like 300, 400, 500 feet to 2,200 feet in about less than 10 miles. And you can draw 5 or 10 degrees. It can happen. Let's see here. Make sure I don't miss any comments. Hey, congratulations, Lily. Reached 100 subs this weekend. Woohoo! Hey, by the way, a lot of people don't know this, but I had mentioned on my other live stream, once you get 100 subs, you can set the URL for your channel. So instead of youtube.com/ JYKF716632887Z, you can have your name or whatever you want. And you just need to go into your account and you can do it. It's a couple days after you've got 100. It may to unlock that. Let's see. Yep, same here. 70s most days down there in Georgia. Nashville. Right. Nashville. I knew that because we talk about Old Hickory and a lot of those places. For some reason, every once in a while, my mind slips and I'm thinking Chattanooga, but it is Nashville. Yes, congratulations. That's really cool. Oh, yeah. I mean, everybody in the community checking out each other's videos. Speaking of which, I'll give a little plug there to Living Like Larry. I was able to watch one of his videos up there at Mount Mitchell. Of course, my favorite mountain. So, Living Like Larry, Kentucky Girl, Lily, there's a lot of folks here have channels. So, thumbs up, appreciate it. Yes, thank you so much. That is really cool. Thank you so much. I'm always humbled by the polite things that you all say. What is your channel? By the way, if you ever, if there's no link in the chat, you should be able to take somebody's username. And if you jot it down, or if you're on a big computer and you open a new tab, or if you're on mobile, you probably just need to, write it down or remember it. You can go back and search it later, and then you can find that user's channel. But it is nice if somebody's able to paste the link. But sometimes the live streams don't let you do that to protect from trolls. Yep, up in Ohio, it's about 30. Oh, we got Pamela A here stopping in to say hello. Hello to you, Pamela. How are you doing? I hope you're having a great start to your week. A nice Monday. Doing well in January and in this new year. Nice to have you here. Relatively new and learning to do it. That's what it is. YouTube is really this journey of acquiring skills, the creativity behind it, the methods you want to use. I mean, it's an evolution. In fact, if I go back and look at some of my older videos, it hasn't been that long. I'm like, I don't like some of the stuff I've done. Exactly. I don't want to say, I don't like using that word, being a perfectionist. I just continually hone the craft, and I'm still never fully pleased. But what I am usually always pleased with is that I captured content, meaning that trip, that thing, that place as long as it's captured, that's fine. The way I speak, the way I edit the video, whether the music, the type, the content, the quality, the angles, and all that stuff, that's the kind of stuff I improve on. But no matter what, the places I've gone and the things I've captured, I do like, because I'll look back sometimes. I'm like, goodness, why didn't I do this? Why couldn't I have done that? Thing like that. Hey, we got Paulina here. Howdy. How's everything going? What's new in the Carolinas? Well, we got, snow, wintertime. Just, enjoying this time of the year. It's relaxing and peaceful in the mountains. And there you go. And Faye is just another awesome community member, +1 there. Lily on another subscription. Just really awesome. And then we got Foxy posted the link. That makes it even easier. And it's not SpongeBob. It used to be SpongeBob, right? And that's the other thing on YouTube. You can actually, you can change your name if you need it. You know what? That's what everybody's here for. We support each other. And one of the things I really like about this group that continually is here, that I usually communicate with week to week, is there's a lot of just, amateur folks, in the community, because, there's varying levels of what degree people are able to take, this hobby. It may not be a hobby. It could be a full-time responsibility, career, passion, whatever. And for me, it's a hobby only. That's, I like to see the other folks that are doing something similar. In fact, I got something really fun tonight. When we get to the news and notes, I'm doing the 2020 Mr. Mountain Man year in review. And I'm excited to get to that, because I think that'll be a lot of fun conversation around this. And I think you all will enjoy that. Lily's husband, Bob, is an amazing singer. I did not know that. That is cool. There you go. Another subscription. Video and audio is very good tonight. So Rita, thank you for the check. I spent, once again, we have more and more devices that keep creeping up that can take, bandwidth. And also this tablet Surface thing I'm using here, is the problem is, pardon me, when I boot it up, because I only really use it for the live streams. When I boot it up, it goes through this cycle of, do I need to be updated? Does this software need to be updated? Is that thing? And that takes resources away from the computer, not internet bandwidth necessarily, unless it's downloading something. But what I'm getting at is, I always mean to get in the practice of booting this a little bit early, like a half an hour early, to let it go through all that maintenance and of its own housekeeping. And I forget to do that, including tonight. So I was a little bit worried, because the machine was really having smoke come out of it when I was about to start the live stream. And it was taxed pretty good on the resources there. So I'm happy to hear that things are going well, because I got everything shut down. Also been messing with the audio. I don't want it to be overbearing. I want it to sound rich and good, but not be blasting your old eardrums out. So hopefully that comes through. I don't think audio has been a problem in a while. And there we go. Living like Larry. So that's what I was talking about, by the way, that you code lies, blah, 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 all that stuff. Once you get to 100 subs, you can change that to, you don't even need the channel part. A lot of people don't know that. You can just go to youtube.com/Mr. Mountain Man, or, Living Like Larry, or whatever the handle you want it to be. Yeah. Yes. So some extra subscribers. Oh, you're up to 105. That's awesome. How is 2021 feeling? Well, I think pretty good. I mean, we've got to be on the optimistic up and up this year. I mean, there's already been a couple of stumbles in the world and domestic scene, as we've seen, unfortunately. And I think is a little bit of a lapse of 2020, but I think on the more, just the travel front and the fun front and things like that, I think there's a lot to look forward to this year. As I made mention 2 weeks ago, we got Dollywood season passes. We'll look forward to that in the spring. We're enjoying the winter in the mountains right now. Just spending time with family, work and a lot of the routine and stuff like that, probably like you all are, doing as well. So hopefully that's, it's going well. I can't complain, so humbled and appreciative of your kindness. Yes. Everybody, jump in. If you're not subscribed to all these folks here, check them out. That is the white one, correct? She'd have to check it. Yes. Hey, Tim Wheaton. Hello, Mr. Mountain Man followers. Hope all is safe and healthy. It is. Tim is a long time what do I say? I don't want to say subscriber. That sounds like long time friend of the channel or whatever. Yeah, however you, a lot of you folks, been here for a while. So glad to have you here. Hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. Yes. Good evening there, Tim. And so, yeah, getting a lot of the folks coming in here. So, you know what? I'm so excited about just talking about that year in review that I put together. Oh, let me say hello to, hey, Big Daddy. Hello to you as well. Hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. And just really, again, I want to welcome everyone here. And if there happens to be anybody in the background that's new to the channel or first time dropping by, welcome to the channel. I hope you enjoy this. It's here for your entertainment and meeting some nice folks. Feel free to chat if you want to. If you don't, that's fine. You can listen in the background like a podcast or whatever else. Hopefully there's some interesting conversation. That's the goal, is to entertain and have a fun time. The irony of Mountain Man Monday is usually on a traditional work week, kind of the ho-hum day of the week. Everybody mostly thinks of Friday and starting the weekend. So, this is kind of how we start the week out with a bang here together as friends. Let's see. A couple other things. Help me or county. Okay, so that's to Foxy Wolf. There's Faye's account. Yes, Faye has a woodworking account. I think it's called Sunshine Woodworking or Florida Sunshine. She'll let us know. Tim, you have, it looks like you've got COVID. I am so sorry. And I hope you're doing well. Prayers to you. And get well soon. Hopefully you're in the mass or general audience that is able to just, push through and is doing well. Please rest, take it easy, and hope you are doing well or better, as good as you can. How are you, Mr. Mountain Man? How's your family? I am well. I can't complain. The family is great. Just, enjoying being here. And again, trying to be optimistic and enjoying the beginning of this year. We also have Angela here. Hi, Mr. Mountain Man. Hello to you. Hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. Everybody's joining in here. Everybody's in a big scramble. We depend on the tax. Oh, casino. That's right. You guys were talking about that. Yeah. Sorry to hear about that, Tim. And I hope you do feel better. Yes, Tim, please get better. Please feel better. So let me get over to, and I know there'll be some chatter I might get behind on. Let me get over to housekeeping for the week of January the 18th, 2021. So let's start out. First piece of housekeeping is I have that new video that's out, which is North Carolina mountain snow in the mountains. It was a quick ad hoc video north of Asheville. A lot of you have already seen it. If you haven't, check it out. I think it has some beautiful views. It was a fun last minute kind of put it together. Thank you for all of you that watched it and put some comments. I love to hear how you like it and what you like about it. And Kentucky Girl, if you're still here, you're the voice, one of the voices in my head that I'm always thinking about the map. I almost published that video or finished it without putting the map. I'm like, I need a map. And then I'm hearing this voice because I think it's you. Maybe it was somebody else. But I know you've mentioned it before. They'll like the maps and enjoy the maps because one time I didn't do it. Said, where's the map? I always want to put the map. So I made sure to get the map. I had to find the spot. Let me go ahead and share here. We've got, here we go. So let's share some pictures and such here. Let me get back over here. Let's hide that. Let's take a look. It's been 2 weeks. So where did we last stop off at? What's the date on this one? January 3rd. We already saw that one. We already saw lifting weights. Actually, what? 2 weeks ago, 4th. Oh, January 4th. I guess that was, all right. There you go. I was lifting legs. That's actually called a hack squat machine. Listen, I know not all of you might be into, some of those pictures that I post to the weightlifting and stuff, but that's me. That's part of being Mr. Mountain Man. So, I snap some pictures because it's what I'm into. And so, hey, I mix them in there as well as pictures of the mountains. Because I do talk a bit about health and fitness and the importance of that. And it helps give me balance too. So I enjoy that. That's actually looking down at the floor on 4. Those are 45-pound weights. There were 4 on the other side. And I was doing some squats, basically good exercise for your leg. This was the snow that was supposed to come. And I'll tell you what's unusual about this picture right here is if you notice that normally the north part up near Marshall and Burnsville and Asheville, that's where you get more snow. And then south near Hendersonville and Brevard and there is usually where it starts to taper off. This one came up and then the cold air came in. So it was kind of interesting that snow, I think folks to the south in the state got a little more than the north. That's unusual. And then here was another picture. Yeah, they were calling 48. Unfortunately, this was a little bit of a dud. They've been off in the weather this year. The one around Christmas, they said we'd barely get anything, and we got a beautiful snow. And then this one was supposed to be like, half a foot, and we barely got any, and it melted really quickly. It didn't stick. So unfortunately for the kids, it wasn't very good for sledding and stuff. That was on January 7th. Then this beautiful picture. Look at the deer in the woods there. Just beautiful with the snow. Is that not a awesome picture? I mean, that looks pretty spectacular there. I think that's really, really neat. Always see deer in the mountains. That was a cookout Sunday night previous to that football game where the Steelers lost. Very simple cookout. That was chicken, sausages, and hot dogs. Hot dogs for the kids, sausages, chicken sausages for us. Although the kids like those too. They're really good. If you're looking to have some meat on the grill and you don't always want to go to the red meat, those are a great option over bratwurst. Hey, check that out. Hopefully that doesn't degrade the stream too much. That was snow falling in front of the holly. Beautiful, right? I mean, winter at its best. Just really, really cool. That was a week ago. I think that was on Monday or Tuesday of last week. Just beautiful. I thought you might enjoy that picture there or that little short video. What else do we got? Oh, there was another. This was interesting. I had put there some of my workouts. So I had a really, really good workout last week. Like on the flat bench, I did 335 pounds 5 times. That's a good full rep. I don't know if any of you lift weights, but I have worked hard for that, and that is a pretty good accomplishment. Then I dropped down to 315 for 5, and then 225 16 times. And then I did incline and hammer strength calf raises and decline press and chest flies. Anyway, it was a good workout. I was pleased, and I put my workout, what I had done that night. It was pretty cool. Yeah, this was funny. The snow was melting like crazy, and I took the last I could find and put it in the shade, and I made a little tiny snowman. And this was like 5 days or 4 days after all the snow had melted. So this was the remnants of it. And I used the portrait mode. Isn't that cool? Like it's kind of fuzzy in the background, and then it looks like real, focused in the foreground. So that was, I thought that was a fun picture. This was on Saturday, what I was talking to you about over there in West Asheville. It was snowing really hard. And then you go to other parts of Asheville and it was sunny and not a flake, which is really unusual because usually you got to go pretty far or get out of the mountains. So that was a weird day. And there you have it. That was the location of the video. There's yours truly. Oh, wait. You know what? Did I? Yeah, I have to be careful because see, hey, by the way, if you're not familiar with Instagram and you see these little dots down here, that means there's more than one picture and it'll usually indicate to you. So within the picture, you need to click and then you'll be able to see. That's kind of like what the thumbnail was. This was a beautiful picture. I almost used this for the thumbnail too. Use the portrait mode. Just a beautiful picture of that walkway up to that lookout. Really, really cool picture. The more holly. Holly makes a great picture in the winter. And then a picture of the mountains. What a treat. I really mean that. That was a treat. I enjoyed. I'm like a kid when I get in the snow. I still play in it. I do throw snowballs. I'll sled. I mess around. I have a lot of fun. I feel like I'm like 10 years old when it snows. And then this was last night. There was asparagus in there. And then that's Angus meat. So 85-15, doing some burgers on the grill. So there is the let's get back to this. There is the housekeeping for the week of January the 18th, 2021. And we will move to the news and notes after I check a million comments that I got behind on. Let's check the high points here. Sorry, just trying to catch up, make sure I don't miss anybody's. If I ever miss a comment, just put it in again. We can do that. I read that one. Sunshine working, woodworking for Faye, gardening, dog, and need to get back to making videos. I get it. Those of us that do it as a hobby, there's just no pressure. Have you put some big pieces of cardboard in the trunk for emergency sledding opportunities? Not yet, but that was a tremendous recommendation from AZ Rock to put some cardboard just as emergency reserves. We have those little saucers. We could probably throw those in the car as well and have them. But either way, that was a great suggestion. Thank you for the well wishes, and I do hope you get better. AZ Rock likes the maps as well. That's awesome. Yes, I always try to put it in there. It was beautiful snow. It was super, super. Hey, camping therapy. I hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. The Holly video was pretty cool. Thank you. And I'm glad you enjoyed it. I just want to share that for folks that might, not be able to see that. Thank you. I wasn't looking for any, I'd be honest, was totally honest, not looking for pat in the back. It was really just, something I work hard for. I spend about 5 days a week, exercising. And I'll tell you one thing, and I might be repeating myself. When I go into the gym, because that's time away from the family, and that is expensive in the meaning of time. And I think I have mentioned this. I want to make a difference. I don't want to just go in there and go through the motions. I want to make a change, and I want to work hard. So you won't see me in there much. Just, I'm out of breath and on that verge of uncomfortable every single exercise that I do. But I enjoy it. It really does help give me balance. How many is considered a rep in y'all exercise? I don't even know. So by repetitions, so when I said 5 reps on that 335, that was flat bench. That means me going through the motions 5 times. Now that's pretty low, meaning all my exercise, shoulders, arms, legs, everything, I'm doing between 8 and 10. If I do more than 10, that's too many, and I add weight. If I'm doing less than 8, that's probably getting too much weight, and I back it down a little bit. So reps means repetitions. Let's see. That was a beautiful picture, wasn't it, of the walkway? I really like that. Yes, thank you. Those are awesome pics. Thank you. Yes, Foxy Wolf's got the Twitter, Instagram handles, which I do as well in a banner. If you ever want to follow on Instagram, if you already have a Facebook account, you have Instagram because they're owned by the same people. Twitter, you don't have to have an account. I don't have that many followers on Twitter. I don't post independently there a ton. I only have like 30 or 5 people, which is fine because most of it is repost from Instagram. It's communicate. But the one thing I like about Twitter is I am able to put freeform messages. Like tonight, I said, I'll be on around 7:30. So if you want to take a look at that, that helps as well. Let me go back to that. Yep. You're always grilling good food. I try to grill every Sunday, no matter what the weather is. I mean, you've seen me do it in the snow. Snow's easier than rain. Rain, I mean, I just duck inside. I mean, the grills stay hot. But I try to do that. The week starts up and kids got school and I've got work and all that stuff. So, I just try to do that. It's kind of a treat. You always get me with the grilled foods. I know it looks delicious, right? I still think what takes the cake was Christmas Eve, those steaks. Those were awesome. Let's see. If I missed anybody, I saw a lot of talk about the casino, but that was kind of like a side conversation. Hey mom, great video this week, and I appreciate that. Hello to you and dad, sending my love. I hope you guys are doing well. We should catch up and get on the phone and say howdy. I hope you guys are doing well. Do you guys have any snow up there in Ohio? Let us know. Living like Larry. Don't forget to check out the Eclectic Candyman. I have so many fun videos for that channel, but what I'm holding back because I want to do the same thing I did on Mountain Man. I want to get a logo made for it, and I want to put it in front of the intro. I have some really neat videos. I've got, I'll tell you one of the videos I got. I got a 79 piece new older stock Craftsman made in the USA tool set. All right. So if that sounds like a foreign language, just hang tight for 1 second. Those of you that follow me have seen where I have 2 or 3 pieces or 5 pieces or half a dozen, 79 pieces. All right. This was a haul. It was awesome. I got it off of eBay. It was all brand new. It's this awesome video. I'm really excited for the Craftsman community to share that. And basically, what I did was the set had a bunch of duplicates that I already had. So I've been able to, sell a few of those to kind of make up the difference. But it's really pretty cool because that was a really neat video. And I have a few others. But I just want to get the logo in there and kind of, believe it or not, that Eclectic Candyman is an interesting channel. I don't always follow the subscriber count too closely, but that type of channel has the ability on YouTube to excel a lot faster than a travel channel like this. I wish I could put polls up there. Like, does anybody interested in hearing me talk about this or not? How-to channels can be wildly popular. I use YouTube myself. How do I do this? How do I do that? So a lot of my videos have a bunch of views on that side of the fence because people find it useful. It's a reference, as opposed to travel, which is kind of niche. Like a lot of you are from this area, like the mountains or in this general vicinity. There's a few folks like Lily or a little farther away and such, and once in a while we'll get somebody from like Ireland or Europe, but we don't get a ton of people because if they were to tap in, and I kind of know this, and I'm here talking about Dollywood or, places, Mount Mitchell or things they're not familiar with, people can't make that connection. But if I'm talking about how to change a light bulb on a car or change brakes or, fix some electrical thing in the house or this or that, or doing something with the floors, it doesn't matter where you are. That applies everywhere. So that channel could pick up a head of steam at some point in the future and exceed this one as far as, community following. But I don't really have any plans now on that channel to do any like live streams and such. I could and keep it tool related, but time is at such a premium. So this is more the community interaction and travel one. And you've seen that in order for a channel to really grow as a travel channel, if you look at the domestic, when I say domestic, I'm talking about YouTube channels in the United States, so people that are not traveling internationally. Although I have gone to Manila, I got that and the Japanese video at the airport. So if you haven't checked those out, check them out on my channel. But for the most part, in order to grow a travel channel, and if you look at the successful channels, pretty much unless it's Disney World is the exception. Those channels down there that, like whether it's the Diz or, just the tons of channels that surround that are successful around the Disney World. They don't need to go outside of there and they can be uber successful. But if you're going to be a general travel channel, you got to spread your wings and get out. You've got to get outside of your one area in order to grow the channel. If you're going to be a travel channel. Now, if you can morph a travel channel into an entertainment channel and spread enough of entertainment, but it probably would plateau for anybody who wants to make a travel channel if they stay in one area. Unless that area, I could think of some others that might be able to do very well. If you were just in like New York City, you could probably go endless there. Maybe San Francisco or Chicago as well. Disney World, Vegas, all these when not the pandemic's happening. So there are opportunities to stay in a niche area. Myrtle Beach, you could probably turn that. But even then, you'd probably have to start going to like Florida beaches and some other things. So, Eclectic Candyman is my other channel. Check it out if you feel like it. I have a lot of fun over there as well. Let's see. Asked you this once before, the countertop push-up strengthen the upper back. Oh, you did ask me about that. We talked about it. Typically when you think about push-ups, you're thinking about your triceps. Well, the first muscle will be the chest for push-ups. Your secondary muscle would be the triceps. I can see if I can find something. Let me just see if there's a diagram. Yes. I just did a quick Google. This is older, but it's on the PGA Tour site. Simple push-ups done on a countertop are a convenient and effective way to strengthen muscles of the chest, shoulder, back, and arms. So it's kind of an all upper body. So yeah. And just that quick Google that I did there are several YouTube videos on what are called like kitchen push-ups and kitchen fitness. Yeah, because you see me posting videos from Gold's Gym and stuff. Not everybody can get to the gym. A lot of people don't want to go to the gym. They want to exercise at home. And that is a fantastic way to stay fit as well. And just using what you have around the house and don't even have to spend any money on any fancy weights. So much resistance training can be just done on with your own body weight. And that's a great example of it, what Kentucky Girl is saying there. Faye enjoys grilling on the weekend. I highly recommend the Z Grill, which is a pellet smoker. Yes. And so I never really get super professional about it. I think the food that I make is good, but I do admit that I go quickly to, the propane grill. I do have wood chips in there. There's a wood chip tray, so I try to replenish those from time to time. I think the grill has a natural smoke flavor to it. I do have some of those mesquite charcoal pieces down in the bottom that go next to the burners, plus everything that's dripped in there. You get a nice taste in there. Show Mr. Mountain Man Mom how much you love her son by smashing that thumbs up. Make sure to hit the subscribe button so you know when to meet us here every Monday for great conversation, meeting of the minds. I appreciate that. And just so right on so many parts, but I love the last part. Great conversation and meeting of the minds. That is one of the goals of this, is to entertain and have some great discussion. I don't get super serious here. Sometimes we get into a more current events topic like we did, especially last year. But overall, I just like the conversations that we have. They are interesting. And yes, there's the Eclectic Handyman, YouTube.com/the Eclectic Handyman. And so we could do that. Lily's got to run. Shout out and support. Catch you later. You as well, Lily. I hope you have a wonderful week, and we will see you next time. My mom says a little bit of snow, nothing on the roads. Did you buy back the tools that were stolen from your garage? You know what is so interesting that you made that comment right there? I'm going to explain why. Speaking of great conversations, are any of you familiar with the phrase quantum entanglement? Sounds like something really fancy, but it's basically like when two minds are on the same wavelength, basically, especially if you're related. I'm in a Facebook group and somebody had posted pictures of their house had burnt down. They posted pictures of it and their truck. And they said, I lost all my tools. This wasn't to me. This was in a group. And they said, I don't know what to do, or can I get my tools back or what? And I said, listen, a whole bunch of people responded, but I said, listen, 20 years ago, all my tools were stolen. And I did go through the insurance company and they made me itemize every single tool, put down the part number and how much I paid, which was difficult. But because at that time I had all Craftsman, I used a catalog and I was able to do it and I got reimbursed. It's so funny you brought that comment up because I just made a comment on that today, as I mentioned. And I think the person I said it to appreciated the feedback. This is why it's always good in general for loss. Forget about tools in your house or whatever, is to, especially in this day and age, is take a little video of your belongings in case you ever have a problem, because the insurance company won't just take your word of mouth like, oh yeah, I had, this. And well, do you have, it's not that you have to garner every receipt or everything like that, but it certainly does help to have some proof of it. Rita says it's an interesting channel, Eclectic Candyman. Yes. We used YouTube to fix our washing machine. Yes. And I have done washing machine repair. And this was like 6 or 7 years ago. Never done anything like it before. I did fix it. That was an interesting project because that was kind of like, you think a washing machine is super complicated. It's not that complicated. You open it up and there's a bunch of parts that intuitively have a certain responsibility, and it's not that complex. It gets more complex when you get into other appliances like the refrigerator. Like I recently fixed the condenser fan. I'd never done anything like that before. But if you get into anything that has coolant or compressor stuff, I don't mess with that. Like I don't have the tools to, do that. The same thing with air conditioning on a car. But yeah, washing machine, dryer, even electric water heaters are kind of interesting. Those rods that go in them, or the things that heat it up. I mean, those aren't super difficult to replace. I've actually replaced a hot water heater, an electric one, not a gas one. And it's weird because I have like zero training in this stuff. I just learn it as I go. Yes, what's on top of the world like? Yep, Mount Mitchell is awesome. Let me get caught up here so I can get to the other part because I'm really excited about it. Yitz is on a road trip. It's been fun to watch. It's right. I jumped into their live stream yesterday. And those guys are down there in Florida, and I wish them the best. Yep, they're in Key West. That is fantastic. They're down Faye's way. Well, Faye's not that far south, but yeah, I've mentioned before, and if you guys have heard me talk, I have a plethora of Disney World background. I mean, we were annual pass holders for years. I'm a huge Disney fan. I know a lot about the history of Disney, a lot about the rides, what's been obsolete, the lodging, the different parks. I'm more than just somebody who visited the parks. I really enjoy everything Disney. But we weren't going to stay in Florida for Disney, as you've heard me say before, but I do enjoy Disney. So I've mentioned before, if there was ever appetite, we could talk about Disney someday if anybody wanted to do that. But not everybody wants to talk about Disney World. Some people don't care for it at all, and they like more of the tranquil peacefulness of the mountains. Although I will say the wildness of Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg isn't a whole lot different than the mega parks of Florida from a crowd and excitement and energy level type thing. Oh, every morning while my oats are in the microwave, I'm trying to do countertop push-ups. That is A+. That is a great way to find those in-between moments to stay fit. I had a problem with my oatmeal this morning. I ate steel cut oatmeal, and I've got the microwave type. They're not cooking right. And my wife had a sweet potato in the microwave like a week ago, and it caught on fire. And I'm kind of wondering if it got messed up, the microwave. But everything else is cooking all right. So I don't know. And you might say, what's specific about the oats? You have to cook these oats on 50% power. So you have to use that setting. I wonder if that setting or something is dead. I don't know. I'm going to give it again, try tomorrow. The chips work great in the grill. They sure do. You just have to put them in a bowl of water first. Paulina says, see y'all later. Take care. Have a good rest of the night, week. Be safe. Yes, you as well. And thank you for joining us. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week. I love lighthouses too, as you can tell. Can't wait for warmer weather to visit Vinny more. Yes. Oh, wait, I took all kinds of pictures of my puppers, but one was stolen from me on Saturday with some suspicion things going on. Need my coda again. You mean you had a dog stolen? That's horrible. I hope that's just awful. I hope the dog is returned to you. Yeah, that is terrible. Yeah, agreed. That is bad. I don't get the people in this world sometimes. People are crazy. That's just you. I don't know. I'm speechless. That's awful. I hope your dog somehow could be returned, Foxy. Foxy Wolf, I have an extensive lighthouse collection. Carpetbagger's doing an interesting Dixie Highway vlog compilation. Yeah, speaking of which, the people I was talking about earlier, like Carpetbagger, Adam the Woo, the Disney channels, a lot of these other ones, these are folks, well, not the Disney channels, but, they're traveling all over the place. And I think once you get, saturated in an area, you have to spread your wings a little bit. So that's they've had a lot of success in doing that. Yeah, I don't hate anyone. I sure dislike the thieves. Yes, thieves. Yep. Oh, Mr. Mountain, I think you misunderstood my comment. I was talking about living like Larry's new icon for his channel. Did I say something? Or what did I say? About the push-ups or about what did I say? Sorry. What did I get messed up? My apologies. I don't know what you said something about the oats. And then, yeah, I don't know what I messed up. My apologies. I moved through these comments so quickly. I'm sorry if I was off. I have Sir Chai and Low, but almost positive who stole him. My little pupper's so sad, and I will not leave my side. Will not eat. He's a pit bull. I'm guessing is what you were saying. Hey, Hike with Mike. Hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. Thank you for joining us. I saw Carpetbagger videos. Thought he was talking about Dixie Highway in Jefferson County, Kentucky, but he's not. Okay, yeah. No, I was referencing back to my conversation earlier about travel channels. I was connecting the dots independently about how these are folks that have done success because they go all over the place, as opposed to somebody like me. Yes, prayers for you. I was teasing my wife last night that the next Florida trip we were going to take the Dixie Highway. You go back way. Yep. Cubert, to whomever did this to you. That's rough. Yeah. You thought I was talking about his Mount Mitchell. I was talking about his new icon. Oh, okay. Well, he's got, yeah. I had seen I read the comment about the icon, Mount Mitchell. Everything. I think I'm halfway in between comments here. Dixie Highways US 41. That is awesome. So let me get back. Let's get over to news and notes for the week of January the 18th, 2021. All right. So let me close this out and close this out. And let's get over to sharing. And we will pick this and this and this. And we'll come back over here and we'll take this off and we'll click, 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 click. Ta-da. All right, here we go. So this is the 2020 Mr. Mountain Man year in review. I thought this would be fun because sometimes I get questions about, what do I like? What do I, dislike or this or that? So I thought it'd be fun. So you're welcome to read ahead, but I'm going to start in the top left and we'll go through these. And then if anybody has any questions or additional, comments on any of these, feel free to put them in the chat. So in the year 2020, on my channel, I did 19 videos. So that's a little less than 2 per month. I think when the pandemic hit, there was definitely a slowdown and there was a gap of videos in the late winter, early spring last year. Number of live streams, 44. So that's pretty good. So even though on my channel as a hobby and with the 9 gazillion things going on in my life, and prioritizing, this is really the way to connect on this channel in between the primary videos that are put out. 52 weeks in a year. So I only missed 8 weeks, which is not bad. So that's, like less than 1 a month. So I'm pretty consistent on doing the live streams regularly for Mountain Man Monday. Sometimes people ask me what's my favorite video. So this is not my favorite video of all time. This might surprise some of you, but what is my favorite video from 2020? It was the video called Pizza Putt Putt in the Park. It was done last summer, and it happened to be where we went to Galactic Pizza in West Asheville, Candler area, or Inca kind of area. And then we headed over to Gatlinburg and went to Davy Crockett Putt Putt. And then we went to Metcalf Bottom and I grilled out. And the reason I enjoy that video so much is because it was that array of activities. It was a wonderful family day. It was a beautiful weather. And I just liked the way it was shot and it came together. I thought it was a nice representation of entertainment when it comes to the Mountain Man, Mr. Mountain Man channel. So that was my favorite video. Now, the next one, I don't know if you guys would question or say, why did you pick that one? The least favorite video. So it was kind of tough to pick, but it was the Pisca National Forest motorcycle ride. So I love the ride. And this is the one that we have a lot of conversation around because I passed by I think it was this time, I passed by the overflowing garbage can. And so, that was on that ride. That was a heavily visited area in the forest there because it's where Sliding Rock and Looking Glass Falls. And hey, quick shout out down there to All About the Smokies. I see you there. Glad you joined us this evening and hope you're enjoying. So yeah, okay. So why is that my least favorite video? It's because I want to enhance my motorcycle videos. One of the things that I want to do with the videos is I want to get I got a new helmet. I've had a new helmet for a little while. I got it last year. I want to get the Bluetooth headset that goes inside that helmet. And I want to get that wired into the video so that I can commentate during the video. Now, The motorcycle rides are a peaceful video by nature. They don't necessarily have to have me yapping all the time. They in themselves are a wonderful, beautiful video to see the mountains. But it is one thing I want to do. The Pisca National Forest ride didn't, the video, when I look back, it didn't do justice to how beautiful that ride was. It looked like I was just kind of in a forest and you couldn't really see the mountains till the end of the video. There were some beautiful shots, but it didn't feel like it did it justice. And it was interesting from a view standpoint. The Mount Mitchell ride I had done a few weeks before that has over 1,000 views, and this one only has 200 and something. There was something about this video that just didn't catch on, and it might have been the area that it was in. So you know, it's not a strong dislike. I still love that video, but it was the one that I picked. By the way, I still see Jennifer Rathbone here. I know you're over in that area. If you ever get a chance, off of, I don't even know what the name of the road is. Goodness gracious. It's the one that runs, I'll just look it up here. Sardis Road is what they call it. Now, Sardis Road turns into going out to Canton. I think out towards Western, West North Carolina, where you are. Galactic Pizza. It used to be a really cool place to go inside. Now you can only get takeout, but the food's good. It's a little on the pricey side, but it is really good. You just have to come towards Asheville, kind of your way. But anyway, that's from Pizza Putt Putt in the Park. I was just mentioning there too, because I see Jennifer Rathbone there. Most fun video to make, hands down, Tail of the Dragon. What an awesome ride. Just super, super cool. Great day. One of the fun things about even prior to that video and after was the long ride to get out there and back. I mean, would I love to make that a tradition or what? To do that in the fall or sometime of the year, but the fall. And some of the pictures, especially the one in that thumbnail, just incredible. What a great fun video. Pretty pleased with the quality. I always seem to put the camera in a little different place on my handlebars when I mount it, which drives me nuts because I usually pay attention to detail and it doesn't seem like I can get it in the same location. Some of the older videos, I had a different phone, an older model, so that may have played into it as well. But that definitely was my most fun video to make last year, was Tail of the Dragon. My favorite mountain video location was Mount Mitchell. I mean, you guys hear me go on and on about it. I love it. Highest point east of the Mississippi. I have a couple of videos there. I have the original Mount Mitchell. I actually technically have 3 videos from there. I have the original Mount Mitchell Park video. I have the one that doesn't have a lot of views. I think it fell between the cracks. It's called Cold Summer Morning in the Mountains. It's the last day of summer and it got down to like 39 degrees going up there, which was cold. That was a fun video. And then I also have the ride from Asheville to Mount Mitchell, which was another ride that ended up at Mount Mitchell. So I love Mount Mitchell. Yeah, so that was my favorite mountain video location. My favorite family video location was Metcalf Bottom Park in Smoky Mountains, in the Smoky Mountains Great National Park, Great Smoky Mountains National Park, excuse me. You guys saw me, there were 2 different videos I made there, grilled out both times, went there on or around my birthday. The second time it was a little overpopulated, and it was been another topic of our conversation about the bathrooms there and how horrendous they were. But aside from that, beautiful location. The family really enjoys it. I will look forward to going back there again. That was my favorite family video location in 2020. Okay, by YouTube standards, the most disliked video, so this is by feedback from the community, was Mr. Mountain Man's Lumberjack Adventure. Now, that's an interesting video because it's one of my favorite videos from the video that I shot and edited, because I used a lot of slow motion video. I chopped wood in that and I was able to catch that on slow motion. I thought it was an awesome video. There weren't mountain views and doing stuff like that. I thought it was a fun video because again, the channel's not only about the travel, but it's about me a little bit too. So, I was doing a little bit of, amateur lumberjack type, cutting and stuff with my new Craftsman chainsaw, connecting the two channels. But I got not a significant amount, but I did get several thumbs down on that. And I'm not sure why. It may have just been that, whomever came across that video that, maybe they didn't want to see me in a cutoff t-shirt cutting logs or something like that. I really don't know exactly, but it was the most disliked video in the community. The most liked video in the community was visiting Little Switzerland, North Carolina. I loved making that video. It is a quaint, niche place in the mountains. I thought that video came together well. I didn't know exactly what to expect because I had not been there before. So I had some research done, but I liked the style of video that I made. In that is kind of the quintessential travel / documentary style of video that I want to make when it comes to this channel. The format of that and the way I put it together, I did enjoy that, and it was well received. It's a very popular video on my channel. One of probably the second most popular of all time. The most popular of all time is the Captain Benjamin Seafood Buffet in Myrtle Beach. That is the most popular video. One of the Chimney Rock ones is pretty popular, and then this Little Switzerland. That was also going to the next one, the most popular video. So it was the most liked and the most popular of 2020 was visiting Little Switzerland, North Carolina. The least popular video is the Happy Thanksgiving video. That doesn't surprise me. That was another just off the cuff. Wanted to say Happy Thanksgiving. I showed a little bit of us cooking. Really wasn't in depth. I think the video was maybe 1.5 to 2 minutes long. It's of the season. So it's of the season. And so it's, people may not want to watch that later. I noticed that Angela said here, I need to watch that Little Switzerland video. It sounds interesting. It's kind of interesting. I will fully admit, I'm not afraid to be transparent, that when I watch some of the other channels, like if I'm on a Yankee in the South live stream or somebody, or maybe Carpet or anybody, somebody in Disney or somebody, but specifically around here, and somebody's like, you guys should do a video from you guys should do a video from here. And I'm like, I have those, but I don't want to be too tacky and plug on their channel because that's their channel. But it is kind of like, I've got a video there. It's kind of fun. I want to let people know, but I don't want to step on toes. I try to be polite in those other ones. Now, if you're on my channel and you want to advertise, you go for it. But I tend to try to shy away on the other channels from plugging too much. When it came to the live streams, most popular live stream was March 30th, 2020, episode 21. That was due in part to I had invited Chris About T-shirts and Will from Yankee in the South. We had a conversation, and the least popular live stream was right before Christmas, December 21st, episode 56. For whatever reason, there just were not that many views. Some of the time I'd have realized that if I go late, I just don't get that many people. There have been times, some of you regulars know that if I get on, some days I'm like, I'm just going to do it no matter what. And I don't start till like 10. That's pushing it. A lot of people got to go to work. A lot of this audience is East Coast. So it does, impact, how many people want to see, are able to join. So yeah, that's kind of the year in review of, favorites, least favorites, most liked, least liked, most watched, least liked, how many videos. I am happy with that. The channel has grown but yet I only had 19 videos released last year. So we've talked about the question of, should I just bang them out raw or continue to do them the way I'm doing? There's a little method to the madness, I think, because I think the quality, which I can't say is perfect. I'm very critical of myself, but what I try to do and make a good video, I think is paying off because people seem to be enjoying it. So, you know, even though I don't have a plethora of videos, I think the total number of videos for my channel is like in the high 30s. So when you include everything before, maybe 40 at this point, it's not a ton. I don't have that many channels or channels, many videos. Lots of live streams, but I archive the live streams. So yeah. Let me get to some of these comments. Awesome year in review. That is cool. I thought you'd enjoy it. I was excited to do this. I wanted to do it 2 weeks ago, but I didn't have time to put it together. I will do this every year. This is going to be a tradition. Like the year in review. You did well. You only missed 8 live streams and on a tear. Yes, thank you. Definitely during the summer. That was a lot of fun. Oh, I saw a hello, Mr. Mountain. It's been a while. Hope you're doing well. You as well, Smoky Mountain Rough Rider. Hope you're doing well and a great start to your week. Foxy said, by Christmas, everyone was having declined viewership, live streams, and vlogs. Not surprising. And that makes sense. People have family, they're shopping, they're doing things. They don't have, time to jump in there. There was a mention. Chris and Mindy's been putting out a lot of videos. They take some really neat trips. Yeah, I have not heard. I don't know if is Chris doing that full time now. I don't know. I know that they're putting out a lot. I'm just not able to do that. This is just definitely in the hobby zone for me. But those are just some wonderful people. You want to do all about or Switzerland someday? Yeah. Now they are closed in the winter, so that's just one thing to be aware of. The view of Mount Mitchell is not as good as I thought it would be from the views from Hanging Rock and Pilot Mountain because they're in the foothills. The vistas are larger when you look out. It's still pretty impressive. I mean, you can see for just miles and miles and miles. I also think the air up at Mount Mitchell and the foliage are pretty unique. So it's just very tranquil, but it's hard to compare, right? Like everywhere is just, very nice in the mountains. Hard to complain. Nice summary. I appreciate that. If I missed anything, just put it down in the bottom. There was another comment. Rita said, Lumberjack, I worried you'd hurt yourself, but I love the video. That was a nice review. Well done. Thank you. Yeah. And the Lumberjack video again was a little puzzling why it was, but it wasn't like it was hit hard by the thumbs down, but yeah, it wasn't my most popular video. You need to do them the way you enjoy doing them and maintain family time at the same time. Foxy Wolf, that's got you definitely with an exclamation mark on it. I don't think you guys, with full transparency, you get a little bit of a facade with me. You really are getting kind of this filtered, everything's great, happy in the mountains, perfect. I mean, but that. I mean, there's the day-to-day work and family, and there's a lot of things going on. I have a young family. And, this is, it is what it is. Nobody has ever said anything negatively about that. It's just, I think there is this natural desire to kind of compare channels. It may not be me, it might be others, or say, well, this channel's like that channel, but they do it like this. I can't be compared because I'm, I have to do things uniquely to my situation and to what I do. So, no surprises there, but for what I am able to press out, actually cumulatively, what I press out between the Eclectic Handyman and Mr. Mountain Man, and still trying to be a good father and husband and, get my work done and all that kind of stuff. It's a lot to juggle, but I try to keep it in check. And I've mentioned before too, I actually make the call sometimes to not make videos because it does slow down the continuity of a family outing. Because it's just natural that I'm not just going to like shoot so naturally. It's going to be like, oh, wait, pause here for a minute. Hold on. Let dad do this. And hold on. Can we shoot this one more time? And hold on, I got to do this. And hold on, wait for these people to pass by. Any of you that do videos already know all that stuff, but now add in a family and kids and they want to do stuff. And so it can be a little disruptive. It's not that they're not supportive. They help me out and they do things. It's just that I have to be, I like to use this term that the coach for the Steelers uses, situational awareness, having a good situational awareness about knowing what does the family need? What do I need to be doing and being aware of that and knowing there's a time and place to exercise my hobby. That is this. But anyway, there's the year in review. And see if anybody else had any comments or questions on the review, or any other. Let's see. Was there anything else? This is about, I lost context. This is in reference. Chris hasn't been called back to work yet. Put up a new schedule for videos, trying to be more consistent. I think Mindy is threatening him if he does not do something besides just being at home. The vlogs he's releasing were done as much as a year ago. That's awesome. They're just wonderful people. You will. That's another thing in full transparency. That whole spiel I just gave about being responsible and being a good dad and doing all the things I need to do. I have had to cut back on like YouTube participation outside of what I do. Like you will notice now that I'm not able to hang out. During the pandemic, when it started and we were at home and sedentary and kind of on pause, I had a lot more time last spring. I was spending a lot of time on multiple live streams, Chris about t-shirts, Yankee in the South, carpetbagger, Disney stuff, just, watching it all the time. But now it's gotten, I've had to curtail, I've had to put that on hold. So thank you for the reports. I love these people. They're wonderful. I just haven't been able to spend the time on their channels, unfortunately. You and your wife have a set age when you let your kids decide if they want to appear in your videos. So it's not about whether they are wanting to, it's about us. Some of this advice actually came from Will over on Yankee in the South. Now, he didn't tell me what to do, but he had told me that the carpetbagger has a daughter and they had gotten some harassment, or daughter, son or something, and this was early on when I started my YouTube channel. And I was like, you know what? It's just not worth it. This is a hobby. This is not my career. This is not my job. And sometimes I do realize that it's a little bit, it's a lot conservative the way that I maneuver. And it's really just about me, Mr. Mountain Man. And, I'm not inclusive. My wife was in a video a long time ago doing the food review, and that may help it happen again. But for the most part, I just don't feel like subjecting my channel to, it's not the it's the one bad apple kind of thing, and I just don't want to deal with it. So that's kind of the decision making behind that. I know there are a lot of people that film every inch of their, I've watched YouTube channels, people video logging their babies, their kids, their house, their everything. Trust me, there is so much that I say this in a humble way, like proud of, and with my family and life and stuff. It's just not something that it just, in general, this is about Mr. Mountain Man and the travel and things like that. So yeah, that's kind of some of the thinking and reasoning behind that. Great question. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep on trucking. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. All your videos are good. You're a pleasure to listen to and watch. That's great feedback. Thank you. And that's the goal. Like, if you guys enjoy that, like if you really watch a video, and by the way, I hope nobody on this channel feels like, oh, I hang out there, so I have to watch his videos. I really hope that you genuinely enjoy the video. Like, you put it on, you're like, wow, that was fun. Like, I got to see something cool or do something cool. I hope that's the feeling you all have. I turn out a lot of videos, not because I want to do videos. I just love being in the swamp in the woods all the time. I'm addicted to the solitude and serenity. Yeah. In certain scenarios, who knows, maybe 20 years from now, if I still deciding and this is still a format, you churning out daily videos or something like that. But right now, I think it's fantastic that this is their primary hobby. But you see me, like I do other things, like, I go and lift weights. There's another time, consumption, and I do this, and I have another channel. So for a busy man, we think you do well and always happy when you post videos and live streams. I appreciate that. Yeah. Some very humbling comments here. Thank you. You guys are super polite, super kind. It's hard to respond to some of these because it's very, very polite, very nice. Yes, it shows your passion. Hike with Mike on your videos. Once you introduce your family, people feel they have the right to ask anything and everything about your family, get real personal. Yeah. And I used to try to stand up for, maybe I was out of bounds. I used to try to stand up for like a year or so ago for like Yankee in the South. People would get pretty, especially on their Facebook page. They don't have it anymore. They felt like they were like, how do you make money? And how do you do this? And how do you do that? It bothered me, I think, more than it bothered Will. I was like, you guys need to, you need to piss off and stop asking those personal questions. But that wasn't my decision to make. I just felt like, especially as a moderator, that I was like, yeah, you don't need to be knowing all that stuff. But they are super polite. That's their decision, and they'll talk about those things from time to time. And I think that's part attributed to their wonderful success, is their ability to be open and honest with. I shouldn't say honest. Everybody's honest, but open and things of that nature. But yeah. Somebody's got to be Mr. Mountain Man. Might as well be you. You got a good head on your shoulder, sir. And I appreciate that. Yeah, balance might be cliche or an overused word, but as Angela said above, trying to do that, and grilling videos make me eat more. I think that's in reference to Larry, right? He's got those, the grilling videos. I love the interaction of your videos. It's a great group of people and enjoy it at the start of my week. And it's great having you, Faye. Faye's an old friend, and it's just nice to meet up and have these folks. Your personality is infectious. I am so humbled. I don't even know how to. You guys are super polite, and it's very, very kind of you. I just really hope you guys enjoy this stuff and kind of like, oh, that was a fun conversation, or maybe on the news and notes you learn something, or you see a picture of a place you like to visit, and things like that. That's the real enjoyment here. And having you all here is the joy to interact. I've heard people on live streams on Yitz ask way too personal stuff to Will and Don. I know. And normally as a moderator, if it's really bad, you can shut it down, but sometimes they'll catch it ahead of time. I was only on for a brief time because I was grilling dinner last night, and somebody, I think, had asked, like, how did you pay for Florida or something like that? And Will humored him and answered the question. He was a little vague about it, but he got, they don't have to answer that stuff. So for me, it's just not, I think maybe the thought, I could be completely wrong. I mean, who am I? I think if you're trying to maybe make a living at it, maybe forget about it. We're not talking about any stuff to anybody. Might feel an onus to the community because they're paying the bills by watching the videos to maybe be a little bit more open. I don't know if that's necessarily true. If you go out there, there are some mechanics channels where they have 100,000 subscribers, or people who review microphones, and they have 1 million subscribers. They don't talk about their family. They don't talk about where they live. They talk about microphones and electronic equipment and the newest video games, or they play video games. But my kids watch the biggest YouTube channels like Mr. Beast and all these other people. And some of them play Minecraft and all this other stuff. Is totally not a prerequisite to have to open up your personal life, and do that kind of stuff. But yeah, I always want to kind of like help, on those live streams, like defend from that stuff. But again, that's not my call to make. But if somebody's out of bounds as a moderator, you're supposed to, kind of, moderate it. Will loves it when people ask what his real job is. Yeah. And he's awesome. They've done videos up in Michigan where he's from and all kinds of stuff. I mean, just a fantastic channel. I hope to connect with them again. They're getting very, very popular, and they're all over the place. So it's getting harder and harder, I think, naturally, to stay in touch with them. But yeah. Yeah, that is true. I'm transfixed on your logo and the cool story you told about how it was created. The 3Ms jump out to me now, and I would never have noticed it till you talked about its origin. Yeah, Mr. Mountain Man. And there was a lot of back and forth with that design, and it's cool. So it's simple, but effective. And my tagline, welcome to the mountains, which you'll see on some of the branding. And so, yeah, I enjoy it. If you want a YouTube tip, so I loved my old intro. Okay. With full transparency, I loved it. Any of you who've watched my videos, it would start out. It was a chopped up bunch of some of the great scenes. There's one of me on the motorcycle going through the tunnel. There's a view out into Mount LeConte. There was, there was some from Mount Mitchell. There was all this stuff. Hey, Kentucky girl, it says you have to run. Fun chat. It was great having you here tonight. I love it. Love the comments. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful week. Back to what I was saying about my intro. If you really want to craft your channel and to YouTube and growth, which again, it's not a primary concern of mine, but I want people to enjoy it. So that I'm being transparent. I like people to enjoy it. So I want to hit the audience. Um, there are all kind of metrics beyond my year in review and all that stuff. If you have too long of an intro, people will not watch your video. They will jump in, they will see what it's about. And if they get to a long intro, they'll switch off. I wanted to get rid of the extended intro because I knew it was detrimental. You can even see where people will drop off the video. Some of you may have even skipped through it because you had seen it so many times. So as much as I loved it, it was hard. I was like, I love that intro. But, if you watch a television show, there's an intro. Nowadays on Netflix, it'll say skip intro and you can do that. But it just doesn't help a channel. So I needed to condense that down, and I had always wanted to make a logo. So that was part of the thinking. So it's a very brief intro so that I don't lose my audience, because what's the point of making a really cool video if I drive people away because I have a 20 to 25 second intro that might be superfluous. So what I can do with that, and what I have, is that's on the channel trailer that has that neat intro, and then I save the brief. I can't go back and change the existing videos, so that trailer or intro will always exist on those older ones. Will is very much a people person. Yes, he is. I think sometimes people start to feel so close, they ask things that seem personal, but they don't mean to intrude. Yeah, I agree, Rita. And I think from like a psychology standpoint and such, thinking like that, I think that's true. I think a lot of those questions are not meant to be hurtful, but people feel like, but the reality is that they're not, people who, they aren't necessarily family or something like that. So, I no more than we'd go up to somebody at Walmart and say, hey, what's your career? What do you do? What for a living? How much money you make? So, but yeah, I can't speak for those folks. I was just giving a little anecdote, a little story about how I'm impressed, because when I was there, I was always trying to like when they had that Facebook page, I think I would jump in. I was like, you guys need to back off and stop asking those questions and stuff like that. But they got rid of that, probably from some of that. I agree, Rita. They get wrapped up in the fun and et cetera, and they forget. Thank you for all you do, Mr. Mountain Man. I'm out. Be safe. Be blessed. Thanks, mods. Good night to all. Good night to you, Loggy Doggy. Let me move to the next slide. So that was fun. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the year in review. Really excited to do that. Only one story. Once again, full disclosure, I got this information from, and I don't watch his channel that much, but I just happened to be watching recently from the Carpetbagger that two Gatlinburg area attractions closed. Now, I looked for news on this, and there isn't one little thing out there about this happening. However, when I Googled it, I took these screenshots, and there you go. World of Illusions and Christ in the Smokies are both permanently closed. And what's weird, or not weird, an interesting fact, I had kind of wanted to go to both. World of Illusions is kind of expensive, I think, for the family, for how much you got. That's why I always drag my feet not to go in there, but now I don't have a chance. There are some YouTube videos, I believe, from there. I think even the Carpetbagger might have one. I have to go back and check out. Now, you will notice there, check out the reviews. Check out the reviews from Google there, 2.5 with 181. And yes, Larry, again, full transparency, that was on the Carpetbagger, as I mentioned. I did get the initial information from him. Went and did my own due diligence. I wanted to see if there was a Knoxville newspaper article, something from Gatlinburg, some blog, nothing. So it just went there. Now, there was on the Christ in the Smokies, they did have a note. If you go to their website, christinthesmokies.com, it says, we're saddened to say our museum is closed due to the loss of property lease. Thank you for your support. So this doesn't surprise me, because the land in Gatlinburg has to be uber valuable. And if you are not a mega producing, value output for money, I think the days are numbered. The Carpetbagger did make a comment, and I think it was really good. He mentioned about the moonshine. The Smoky Mountain Distillery and all those guys who've come into downtown Gatlinburg, you can tell that they are successful. They have just architecturally and speaking from a building perspective, they have beautiful buildings. They're clean. They look nice. They look like they should be in the mountains. They're brown, they're wood, they just fit really well and they make a lot of money and people like them. And so, would they put more of that type of thing or more restaurants or more newer attractions? But I know that the Christ and the Smokies at Christmas time would charge $10 to park in their lot. So they had to be pulling in the money, unless because they leased that building, the money made on the parking lot was actually going to the landlord, not to the company to help them pay. So, that property around River Road or whatever, where Christ and the Smokies is, that's got to be worth a lot of money. You could build a hotel in that spot. That's right on the river. You could easily put it so it could be a hotel, because that's off the path for entertainment. I would think more that that's going to be built into probably a hotel. As far as World of Illusions, that's another prime piece of real estate right there. That is right in the middle of the parkway, near where the mini golf and the laser tag and the fudge place. That is just prime real estate right there. So that was the only story I had tonight. Let's see. Were there any? They could not afford the rent anymore, and World of Illusions was doing poorly anyway. Yeah, World of Illusions, from what I understand, hadn't changed since the 80s when they opened, which would have been kind of cool to see, right? But yeah, they didn't. That's great, AZ Rock. Maybe it's just an illusion that it closed. Yeah, so I love it. That's the comment of the night. Yeah, it's too bad that they closed. Yeah, you even did the da-dum. Okay, you got. See, we're all on the same wavelength here. It's funny. But yeah, so yeah, a couple of places closed, and so I can tell you where videos won't be coming from. Actually, the one that I was most disappointed that I did not get to go to was the Guinness Book of World Records. I had seen that video on Yankee in the South, and I thought it was awesome. There's like a room you could go in and scream, like to set some decibel, I don't know, do something, you could, there were all kinds of little fun interactive exhibits. That stinks that they closed that, but I have been to that 80s type arcade thing with the laser tag that they opened up, and that was a lot of fun. The family went there and we did the laser tag with Ripley's. That was a lot of fun. And then the last thing I always finish out with is the 7-day Asheville, Western North Carolina forecast. I don't see what I want to see on there for this time of the year, which is a little bit of snow. I would call that mild, high 50s, low 30s, very typical Western North Carolina forecast. Lots of sun in the forecast. So there you have your news and notes for the week of January the 18th, 2021. Looks like we lost a few people there on that last story. All about the Smokies says never got to go there either. Yeah. And now, again, I'll be honest, like, let's say they were still open. When would I have been there in the next 5 years? Maybe. I watched, this is so funny because I don't watch the Carpetbagger that much. But I have like several mentions here related to that stuff because he went to Christ and the Smokies and I watched that video. His video was so good, I almost didn't need to go. I'm like, it's pretty cool. I saw what I needed to see. He may have done one at World Illusions. My favorite video of all time that he ever did was House on the Rock, which I have been to, and I would love to do a video. I just don't know when I'd be up in that part of Wisconsin again. Foxy's got a report here. Guinness is supposed to open elsewhere, but the place flooded in the past as well, so chose to move elsewhere. Is that true? The building had integrity issues? I did not know that, and that is very interesting. I never knew the reason on it. So, but if that was the case, all these places, again, they leased. I doubt any of these are own the building. I'm surprised it wasn't up to the landlord to fix it, for such a prime company. I mean, Ripley's is a first-class citizen when it comes to Gatlinburg. So that's a little surprising. And that's also a wonderful walk spot there. So, okay, that's interesting. No, I did not know that the building flooded, and that might have caused a premature closing. Well, folks, it's at the bottom of the hour of the time that I've been on for an hour and a half, and this is about the limit. I got to be sensitive to the family and go check in on them and say howdy, hello. I want to thank everyone who joined tonight. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. If anybody watches this on delay, hello and howdy to you. I hope you have a great week. House on the Rock is cool. At least was 30 years ago the last time I went. And as from what I understand, it hasn't changed much. Everything from the machines that you put the quarters in to the house itself, to the doll collection, the gun collection, the doll house, all the different collections that Alex, what's his face had. It's all very similar. Super nice stream tonight. Thank you, Rita. That means a lot. Need to head out. Have a great weekend, or great weekend. I'm jumping the gun a little bit there. Have a great week, great night. Yes, thank you, Faye, and a living like Larry. Good night, Mr. Mountain Man, and everyone. Good night to you as well. I should be back here next Monday. There's no football to watch. Boo. Nothing going on. So, yes, the place was amazing. AZ Rock. Yes. House of the Rock is super awesome. I even have a coffee table book from there from back in the 80s. Alex Jordan. Yes, Alex Jordan is correct. Thank you for remembering the name. Everybody have a wonderful week. Yes, go have a great week. Be safe. Make sure you hit thumbs up and see you next week. Thank you so much. Yeah, maybe this one will be the most popular live stream for 2021, right? Time for baseball. And yes, good night, everyone. Have a wonderful week. Have a safe week. And until next time, we'll see you later. Good night, everyone.